They say the loudest voices in life aren't always right. Sometimes they just talk so long you start believing them. In the wide plains of Africa, under a burning golden sun, a shepherd once found a tiny lion cub near the edge of the forest. It was weak, trembling, and alone. The shepherd's heart softened. He lifted the cub gently and carried it back to his flock. At first, the sheep were terrified, but soon they realized the cub was small and harmless. Days turned into weeks, and the cub began to follow them everywhere, eating grass, sleeping beside them, even bleeding like them. The shepherd laughed. "You're no lion, you're one of us now." And so the cub grew among sheep, believing every word. Years passed. The little cub became big, but his heart stayed small. When the wolves came at night, the sheep ran, and so did he. When thunder echoed across the valley, he trembled with them. One day, while grazing near the river, he looked at his reflection. A large face stared back, mane wild, eyes fierce, yet he quickly turned away. "I'm just different," he murmured, lowering his head. The sheep nodded. "Yes, better stay close. The world out there isn't safe." He listened. He always did. Then one morning, a roar split the air. The ground seemed to shake. From the forest's edge, a giant lion emerged, muscles rippling, eyes blazing like fire. The sheep scattered in panic, but the lion didn't chase them. He walked straight toward the young one standing frozen near the river. The big lion tilted his head. "Why do you run, brother?" The young one stuttered. Brother, no, I'm not like you. I'm a sheep." The old lion stared at him, confused at first, then saddened. He stepped closer, his voice deep but gentle. "Look at yourself. Do you truly believe that lie?" The young one looked again into the water. This time, he didn't turn away. The reflection staring back wasn't a sheep. It was power, courage, and something ancient, something real. "But they'll be scared," he whispered. The old lion smiled. "They already are, but fear isn't your prison, it's your proof. You were never meant to blend in." The young one's heart pounded. The wind swept through his mane. For the first time, he didn't feel like hiding. The old lion roared, shaking the valley. "Now roar with me." The young one hesitated. His voice cracked, unsure. But the old lion roared again, louder, not commanding, but calling. And then, the young lion opened his mouth, and the roar that came out silenced the entire plain. The sheep stopped running. Even the wind paused. It wasn't just a roar. It was the truth, the sound of something that had been silent for far too long. The old lion smiled proudly. "Remember this, young one. The world will always try to tame you, to make you forget what you are. But your voice, your strength, was never meant for silence." The young one turned toward the plains he once feared. The same fields looked different now, not as a cage, but as a kingdom. From that day on, he no longer walked with the sheep. He didn't hate them. He simply knew he wasn't one of them. He climbed the nearest hill, stood tall against the horizon, and roared once more, this time not to prove himself, but to remind himself who he truly was. Don't let the world tell you you're smaller than you are. You might have been raised among sheep, but that doesn't change your roar. Your surroundings don't define your power. Your belief does. You were not born to hide in the crowd. You were born to rise and roar. Stop letting others' fears define your limits. You were born for greatness. You just forgot how powerful you truly are.